2025, the Anambra will go to the polls to elect a new governor. Will the incumbent Chukwuma Charles Soludo get a second term, or will there be an upset from his opponents, Nicholas Ukachukwu of the APC, George Moghalu of the Labour Party, Jude Eze Nwafor of the PDP, John Nwosu of the ADC, Sir Paul Chukwuma of the YPP, and a host of others? What are the major campaign talking points in Anambra, and which local government will be the swing vote areas come 8 November? Welcome to Anambra Guber Election Countdown. I am Alex Ogbodo. This afternoon is Chief Nduka Obikwelu. He's a veteran journalist and public affairs analyst. He's already quarreling with the fact that I refer to him as a chief, but you can tell that he is a chief in all rights. Good afternoon, the Duke. Thank you for joining me this afternoon on the Anambra Election Watch.
It's my pleasure.
So Anambra is a different kettle of fish in terms of electioneering. Anambra is not like Enugu or Ebonyi or Imo or Abia. Anambra is Anambra. It offers a different experience politically, and you understand this. Let's take a look at what has happened. If you throw your mind back to the experience someone like the former Governor Obiano had when he was seeking a second term, it looked like he had a more difficult path to his second term than what we're seeing now. Is this an election that is Governor Charles Soludo's to lose, or is there something in the offing from his opponents?
If everything, thank you very much once more. If everything goes according to plan, it is Soludo's election to lose. It is his. He should be on cloud 9 now, roller coaster, because we have not seen any viable opposition. Yes, there are candidates and aspirants and candidates, but there are no viable opposition. Within the campaign, the governor has even run the campaign as if he had very big competitors. So amongst all the candidates, hard work, give it to him. He has done marvelously, very well in terms of electioneering campaign. So I agree with you, it is his to lose, unless a miracle happens, because in politics, 24 hours is a very long time. In politics, 24 hours is a very long time. But just like you said, Anambra is unique in their own election. And Anambra has been thrown into an off-season election. It's no longer done on the day other governorship elections are done, because of the interpretation that P2B, His Excellency, former Governor P2B, went to the Supreme Court and that sacked Dr. Chris Ngige, and then ordered for P2B to be sworn in on another date, 3 years after. So that has changed the timetable for election in Anambra. So as a result, and knowing Anambra is a home of billionaires, and according to the former governor P2B, he said that there are many governors in Anambra State, because how do you know a governor? Your vehicles, exotic vehicles without plate numbers, convoy with army, retinue of security details, police, SSS. So a lot of them are siren. So it's in Anambra that you see a lot of siren when you think that it is governor. It is not governor. There are many civilian generals in Anambra State, warlords and billionaires. In Nigeria, we worship money. Once you have the money, you have this retinue of security details and siren, and anything goes in Anambra. So it's a state of billionaires.
All right. So let's take a look at what the campaigns have been like. What are the candidates talking about? In Anambra, what seem to be the biggest talking points now?
Unfortunately, for the first time in recent time, there was no debate because that debate, televised debate, is supposed to be one of the cardinal points in electioneering, so that it will give the voters the opportunity to assess the various candidates. But the campaign became toxic at a stage. It became toxic that maybe that was what informed the organizers of Nigeria Debate Forum to share the issue of debate, because there was a lot of bad blood generated in the campaign between the incumbent governor, Professor Soludo, and the APC candidate, Chukwuma Ukachukwu, and the running mate, Uche. So because of that tension, that bad blood, people didn't get to see them line up as usual for the normal debate. But most of them have appeared individually on television and showed their own manifesto. Soludo was there, had a media chat the other day, and he descended heavily on his opponent's qualifications. That is Ukachukwu and his running mate, Uche. That culminated in when they went to sign a peace accord in Oka. Some of you saw it on social media that Uche even refused to extend her hand to greet the governor. The party chairman, Basil Ejidike, was trying to urge him to greet the governor, but she refused. Her in the fit of anger because of what happened. The media link, media chat, Professor Soludo had the previous night, but Soludo was sitting with the principal, who is Ukachukwu. So, and they were chatting.
And a lot of people did not expect to see that.
I did expect
that side.
That comrade.
So what does that tell you, really? That it's normal for politicians to say things to each other, but they don't really mean those things.
Yeah, it means that Nicholas Ukachukwu is matured. Yes, matured, because I must tell you, if it were me, I don't know if I would be able to extend out my hands of greetings or courtesy to the governor, because just the previous night he was there within the media, international and local, and lambasting them, even though he didn't go personal. He was talking on the sentence I said here when I came the other time, that the issue of qualification and certificate is germane in any election. So that was the issue Soludo was emphasizing, because you can't just parade any certificate or forge any certificate and want to be elected. If you're a businessman, go and do your business. If it's abroad, if it's in UK or some civilized clime, if you are to go into leadership, you'll be trained for leadership. It's not for all comers. It is only in our place that people just to some money misroad people find themselves into power. And that's why you have a lot of charlatanism in governance. People who are charlatans in power. So because they have not been groomed, they have not gone through the drill, through the processes. You go through at least the university, so that the university will pass through you, or you pass through the university, you'll be groomed, and you go for leadership training. So I quite agree with him in that aspect, that if you aspire for leadership, for governorship or president, you should undergo professional training in some ivory tower. Yes, we're not talking of a master's, professor, or all this multiple, but first degree is just okay. First degree or HND is quite okay. But when you don't have it and you go and get an Oluwele certificate, and that is fraudulent. What are you going to teach the younger ones? So that was what the governor was emphasizing in that media link. But all the same, Ukachukwu didn't have a reply, an answer, or Uche didn't have a reply. At the stage, she wanted to question Soludo's professorship. And everyone knows that Soludo is an international scholar, that he merits. Those who know him at Nsukka know that he is a first-class brain. But that's for academics.
That's right.
That's for academics, not. We're talking about in governance. Yeah. It's a different bottle of different kettle of fish. Yes.
All right. So let's talk about the role zoning is playing in Anambra elections, because there are some candidates who come from areas in Anambra that according to the zoning that is in place, that they are not maybe supposed to be running at this time, but irrespective of that zoning, they are still on the ticket.
Yes.
So talk to us about how that zoning will impact the voting patterns.
Yeah, that zoning is a gentleman's agreement, an unwritten agreement. And I did say the last time I was here that it is playing sufficiently, playing a very big advantage on the side of the incumbent Soludo. That zoning issue is playing a very big, has given him a very big mileage. The other ones that are contesting from the other zones, like Paul Chukwuma of YPP, I'd say that he was swimming against the tide. And since then, you could notice from after our interview here that his campaign almost died, even though he said he's still in the race. But his campaign has always gone under Paul Chukwuma because the zoning doesn't favor him, doesn't suit him, because Obiano comes from the north. So that issue of 4 more years only favors Chukwuma. And because even though Judge Moghalu came out and said that he would do only 4 years, but people were less convinced.
Yeah, they are looking at it as if he comes to do only 4 years, it still disrupts the zoning. Because the whole pattern of it goes to the north, to the central, and the south, it distorts it. If someone from a zone that has just produced a governor comes on board, or the zone that already has a governor,
yes,
the constitution still gives you the opportunity to run for a second term. What if he decides to renege on that promise, claiming that after all the constitution offered him an opportunity?
That's what I'm saying, that he made a lot of people to pitch camp with Soludo, because they said that they could not really accept or trust that Judge Moghalu would do only 4 years. And then if it is that is the APC candidate and the Epunife, that one, there's no way he will win. He'll grab it and he'll tell him to do 4 years. That one is no brainer, no go area. So that's why I don't think he even made a promise that he will do 4 years. That is a APC candidate. They will tell you that there was no time Anambra sat down to decide on the zoning arrangement. So that is why some people, especially people from Anambra Central, I think Anambra Central has a lot of bourgeois, a lot of icons, a lot of governorship materials. So they are very, very hungry for, they can't afford to wait for more than another 4 years. It is in Anambra Central that you have so many candidates who are itching to contest. So this thing favors, so even those who don't like him, but they said, okay, let him just finish his 4 years so that he will move to the other section, the other zone in the Anambra State. So that is a factor in Anambra State, the zoning, even though it's an unwritten agreement.
And it looks to be the same in a lot of the states in the southeast.
Yeah, it's getting.
Is the same.
It's getting.
And even Ebonyi is the same.
Yeah, so, it's getting traction. But Imo violated it many times. Imo State violated it, but maybe they will start it very soon. Maybe Imo State will start it very soon. The governor has promised them that it will happy to take effect, but you never can tell until we see it, because Owerri zone and Okigwe zone are seriously agitating that they have not tested power. That's what is happening. So,
all right. So let's talk about the swing vote local governments in Anambra State. If a governor wants a second term, or if a candidate wants a chunk of the votes, which local governments or which senatorial zone should he be concentrating his campaigns, especially in this last few days remaining for the campaigns?
Yeah, if you can amass the vote in Idemili North and South. Idemili North and South is a massive vote. That is a Mpo Obosi area because of non-indigens around that place. As for Onitsha North and Onitsha South, most people in Onitsha North do travel to their villages to cast votes. But around that Idemili North and South, some of them are indigens, like Ogidi, Obosi, Umuoji, Mpo, all that Idemili axis. A lot of votes do come out from that area. But if you're talking of local governments that supply heavy votes. You can talk of Nnewi North, and then Nnewi South. That is Okpo, very big community. Then we talk of Agwata. Agwata is supposed to be 2 local governments, but it's only 1 local government. Agwata has a number of big communities that churn out a lot of votes, like Oga, Umuchu, Ibuku. So Agwata is quite big. Urumba is supposed to be big, but Urumba has been split into 2, Urumba North and South. So you talk of Agwata, you talk of Ihiala is big, but Ihiala have not recovered from the insurgency that they have suffered from. Ihiala is big, but they haven't recovered from the insurgency. So a lot of areas in that place have not accepted that they should return home. Most of them abandoned their communities. So Ihiala used to be big. Then they talk of the Oka South, which is the urban city, Oka South, and Njikoka. They are quite big local governments in Central. So Central is big. Central, Anambra Central.
Okay. So, I mean, typically from what you have explained, there are other factors that can also work against those bulk votes. I understand that about 2 or 3 candidates that are running from Nnewi alone. So, talk to us about how that will affect the vote pool.
Well, the major candidate in Nnewi is George Moghalu of Labour Party. Nwosu, yes, Nwosu is from Nnewi, but of ADC is from Nnewi, but ADC has not stamped their foot on the ground. They don't have a grassroots followership. It's supposed to be people from former PDP, but I have not been able to galvanize them because of the crisis the PDP suffered, which I said the other time that we know a wider problem. Somebody who lost the primaries in 2023 and he refused to accept defeat. That is the FCT minister. Refused to accept defeat, and then he was bent on destroying the party, and he has almost liquidated that party. So it has affected PDP in Anambra State and some other states. In fact, it equally has an effect on Labour Party. That is the attitude of our judiciary, what our judiciary is doing, affected the Labour Party. As is trying to, they're trying to, the external force is trying to use some people inside to destroy the party. That is the situation. So that is how it is now.
Let's talk about what could be panning out here, but I think we'll have to take a break. Let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about what to expect from INEC. INEC has a new chairman, Amopeton. Let's know what to expect from him. That's after this break. Join us. Welcome back to Anambra Governorship Election Countdown. My name is Alex Ogbodo, and I still have Chief Nduka Obikwelu here in the studio. He's a veteran broadcaster. Thank you so much for staying tuned. So, we've been talking about the candidates, everything, but right now, someone needs to conduct this election. What do you expect from INEC in this election? The peace process was done yesterday. Well, we saw handshakes, but not with everyone. But now the ball will be on INEC's court. How do you think INEC will do this?
Yes, the stake is not so high. There's no balance of terror in Anambra State, or balance of probabilities. It's like those days we used to do staff race or principal's race. In secondary school, we are doing a staff race or principal's race. You know where the principal normally stays and where the teachers normally stay. The teachers stay at the base, principal stays somewhere. So principal already has a mileage. The moment you blow the whistle, the principal will press the tape. So Soludo is like the principal. He has an incumbent. He has the resources. If you see how he was going to campaigns and the promising monetary rewards for his party members for any local government, any ward that casts more number of votes. So these are incentives he was giving, even though people have termed it vote buying. Yes, it shouldn't have been, because you shouldn't have come from him, because he's the governor. He's not using his personal resources to reward those party members. But he claimed he was trying to do door-to-door to sensitize people to come out to vote. But he was saying those who, if you score more in APGA that score, he didn't initially say a community that casts more votes, but he was saying the ward or community that casts more votes for their party. So which means they will have incentive. The reward will go to APGA people. So that's why people are saying he was violating one of the electoral rules. But at the stage, he started trying to amend what he said. There's no justification for that, because he was using state resources. It's not his personal resources. So there shouldn't be inducement before or after, because he claimed he was doing it before election. So whether you do it before election or after election, it is inducement. Having said that, I think that there's no level playing ground. INEC won't have serious problem in conducting the election. Some people were saying, or the new INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amopito, was trying to say that it is a litmus test for him, his first litmus test. But I said no, I disagree with him. This election will not be a litmus test for Professor Amopito, because the signs are obvious that there will be only one winner. Because I must say, even though yes, as an Anambra man, but there was no APC in Anambra State. APC was not existing in Anambra State before. They have tried it, even in the last election. How many votes did they score? But the thing is that it is only the fear of rigging that people are even talking about the election, a possible upset, fear of rigging or vote padding. But Soludo is so lucky that they have a brand new INEC chairman, and he would like to start on a very sour note, on a bad note. He would like to use this one so that Nigerians will hail him and welcome him and say, yes, a Messiah has come. A Daniel has gone to judgment in our electoral system. You know, when Mike Igini, when they introduced these beavers, he said it is, what do you call it? He said it is something for election, during COVID, vaccine. He said it was the vaccine that will cure election rigging. But you see how our judiciary, how our courts messed up the issue of beavers and IREV. I blame that on our judiciary, because we are supposed to be seeing results being transmitted in real time from the polling booths. After voting at the polling booths, the result will be transmitted in real time, so that before you know it, you are here and they are seeing the result. But see how they messed up the whole thing, and we went back to Professor Maurice Iwu era. So having said that, there will be opportunity for this election to be rigged. There won't be, because the gap is not to you rig where you are a little bit popular. If it's like last time when Soludo contested, there was uncertainty. Val Ozibo, Andy Oba, or Ifeanyi Oba, you know, it could have gone either way. So it could be possible to rig that one. Somebody was about to rig it, but we are against APGA. But Senator Vitume, who was in charge that time, made sure he blocked all those loopholes, like the one they wanted to do at Ihala, local government. You know, they didn't do the election that very day.
Yeah,
they postponed it ahead. So there was some people wanted to smuggle some votes through Imo State. But Vitume, being a veteran, Senator Vitume, being a veteran, was able to block that pigeonhole. So we won't judge Professor Amopiton with this election, because I know this election will be free and fair, and he will moreover, Abuja doesn't seem to be interested in any of the candidates. Soludo and the APC candidate, that is Ukachukwu, both of them are working for Tinubu. So because they are working for Tinubu, the state institutions, the states, like INEC, police, or all this thing, will have no reason to favor either of them because the APGA will not show any interest in any of the candidates. Both of them have said they are supporting Tinubu.
That's correct.
So that's why I have no fear that the election will be free and fair. Because now, if Soludo is against Tinubu, he would have lost some fear that they might want to get a pound of flesh from him using security and INEC. But this time around, there's no basis to favor one candidate since there are 6.5 dozen. The difference is just the difference between 6.5 dozen. That is, both of them are in the same camp. They say progressives are working together. So, are they going to rig it for George Moghalu? No. George Moghalu, Labour Party, it doesn't have, I don't think it has enough resources because election has become capital intensive. As for vote buying, you know it will be there. The APC will buy, APGA will buy, going by what are the signs we have already seen. And you know there's too much hunger. They have weaponized hunger. So as for money, they will say accept. But the only thing I am appealing to in Anambra is for INEC to secure a secret place for people to vote with their conscience. So even if you collect money, after collecting money, you should be allowed to go inside and vote with your conscience. And then the police should be able to guard against those party agents that go near the polling booth to watch you, for you to vote and show, so that you vote and show before you collect your money.
Yeah.
So the thing is that there should be clear-cut safeguards and clear-cut huts, or what do you call it, voting booths, that is removed from the party agents, so that you will have privacy. And I feel that INEC will have no issue. Thank God that security has improved in Anambra State. So it's not a question of saying that some people were traveling on INEC officials were traveling on boat on Kenu or on Pontu to Olumbanasa or to Nzam, and they were led on the road and seized and kidnapped and taken to one unknown destination. I don't think that will happen. Or that the ones on route to Ihala were hijacked and taken to somewhere. I think it will not happen this time around because where do they start? Where would they start? If you rig 2 local governments, are you going to rig the other local governments?
All right, there's something, before we go, there's something I needed to ask you, and that is there a candidate, if he was participating in this election, that would have made the playing field more interesting? Who are you missing in this lineup of candidates?
Yeah. If Anyoba had been candidate of APC, and if Valuzbo had been candidate of Labour Party, it would have changed the dynamics. It would have changed the dynamics. And if Abure did not deal a terrible blow to Labour Party, and Peter Obi and the governor of Abia State took full control of Labour Party, if they had been allowed to take full control of Labour Party, Peter Obi would have thrown himself into the ring, and the election would have been balanced. But because of what is happening, the hide and seek INEC is playing with the Labour Party, it gave cold shoulders to people. You see, people like Alex Ogbodo didn't even attend campaign in Anambra.
That's correct.
Because George Moghalu would have leveraged on his achievements in Abia to come and campaign for him in Anambra State. Because of the uncertainty that they kept Labour Party, people are so demoralized. And then George Moghalu is doing it alone. Even though Peter has tried some few times to attend his campaign, but he hasn't gained that momentum. He didn't do much. And the Nnewi community that would have helped him financially, all those business moguls in Nnewi, everybody wants a winning team. You know, Soludo played a clever one on many people in Anambra State. He went and started flagging off so many roads. You know, like the Nnewi flagged off so many roads in Nnewi, and people will say, okay, if we don't vote for him now, This
The
road
roads will not be done.
will not be completed. The one from Nkwo Triangle to Ozobolo is ongoing. The one from Agolo, Nobi to Newi is ongoing. And then the one from Amobia, that is Amobia to Agolo to Ekulobia is ongoing. So people say, why don't we vote for him so that he will complete? So it's a campaign gimmick he employed this time around. So Newi people who would have supported somebody like George Moghalu, some of them now saw that maybe or Nwosu, that they don't have enough boot on the ground. They don't have what it takes. So most of them now went to Soludo and started supporting Soludo because people want a winning team. That is the situation. But if Val Ozugbo had stayed and if he didn't have issue with P2B and they had taken that Labour Party ticket and supported by all structures of Labour Party, including Governor of Abia State, he would have given Soludo a very big run for his money. And then if Ifeanyi didn't die, Ifeanyi is one person who would like to spend so much in an election, especially this period when there is too much hunger. He gives out motorcycles, he gives out buses, he gives out keke, he gives out so many palliatives, so many welfare. So it would have been a very big challenge to the sitting governor, because sitting governor is the person that has all the resources. He has the structure, local government chairman, councillors, PGs, even the traditional rulers are under the governor. So that's why I say it's not a level playing ground. And he's an incumbent sitting governor. All the officials, teachers that he employed and those ones working, they will all, okay, in fact, pensioners, if they are being owed, he will get money and clear for everybody. It is very difficult to, if you go and contest against an incumbent who is coming for a second term, it's always very difficult because he will use every state apparatus, every resources to overwhelm. In the second time, Obiano wasn't too popular to win in that his second time. But because he's an incumbent and because he has the party structure, titans like Victor Ume and others were able to rally around after their court cases to make sure, and Obidigwe, to make sure that he won. That he won. Even this Soludo was equally in the campaign that period with all the insecurity problems. So, but Soludo didn't do very well in the first 3 years. But since this year, I think he started making amends, especially security.
That's right. So, do you think we have just about a minute and a half to go? Do you think that the Anambra will come out and mass to vote in this election?
Once there's no insecurity, they will come out. But the other thing that will cause voter apathy is because people will feel that he has already won. That will be an issue, that he has already won. But I think by and large, it won't be as bad as the last one, because the last one, Soludo won with less than 150,000 votes because of insecurity issue. He won with less than 150,000 votes. But this time around, I feel with about 2.2 million registered voters, I think the voters should be able, Anambra should be able to produce, a winner should be able to emerge with up to at least 500,000 votes. Because in the presidential election, Peter Obi scored up to 550,000 votes. So I expect a governor to score up to 400,000 to 500,000 votes.
I think that would be a good place to leave it. I have to thank you so much, Chief Nduka Obikwelu, veteran broadcaster and now public affairs analyst. Thank you for your insights on the program this afternoon.
It's my pleasure.
And as I will always say from here, we wish all the candidates all the best, and may Anambra succeed. That's how we'll put it.
Thank you.
That's how we'll say it from here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching. The program returns same time tomorrow, 1 p.m. My name is Alex Ogbodo. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.